Welcome to Lecture 4 or Lecture 5, I don't know which one it is, of the nightmare semester COVID-19. Now, last class we ended with talking about the Indus, and then I gave you a series of notes to finish it off. Our next topic is, in fact, ancient China. Today's agenda is to start ancient China, to stop, and then to talk about our exam. As I see it, we're slightly behind. The notes hopefully helped us catch up a bit. So, what I figure is this. We start ancient China today. Next class, the next lecture, I just do more of ancient China and get you ready for the exam, which will be next week. The exam will be a fill-in-the-blank exam. It will be, you will have a word bank, and you'll have an hour and 20 minutes to do it, which is the normal class time, and you should be fine. So, our next topic is ancient China. As the Indus River Valley was in fact declining, another phenomenal ancient civilization was developing. Class, a civilization that would be as unique as the Indus, unique in its language, unique in its culture, unique in its writing, as the Indus was in fact falling apart because of all the things that we know, such as potential migration of the Aryans, falling apart because of social neglect. Ancient China was in fact arising. The question is, why would ancient China be as unique as the Indus? What would make her writing style totally different from the Indus? Class, why would ancient China be well preserved? Because of her geography. As the Indus was protected by mountains and bodies of water, so would ancient China be protected by unique natural obstacles. And that is where we begin. Topic number 1, the external geography of ancient China. Write it down. The external geography. The external geography of ancient China. The question is this: why would China develop an independent culture, language, a civilization distinct from the Indus, despite the fact that she was right next door? The answer is external geography. Where do we begin? Obstacle number 1, natural obstacle number 1. We begin in the north. Write it down. In the north is a major natural obstacle. In the north, right here, is in fact this gigantic area. You will label it the gigantic Mongolian Plain. Write it down. To the north is the Mongolian Plain. To the north is the Mongolian Plain. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a massive area. Even though Mongolia is independent today, it is in many ways still part and parcel of actually ancient and modern China. Notice this inner Mongolian area. The Mongolian Plain is gigantic in size. How big is it? It is 200,000 square miles. Write it down. 200,000 square miles. 200,000 square miles. That is a gigantic chunk of terrain. It really means nothing though. How big is it compared to what we know? The Mongolian Plain at 200,000 square miles is actually almost the size of the entire Indus River Valley civilization. Write that down. Almost the size of the entire Indus. Our first topic was in fact 300,000 square miles. The Mongolian Plain, just this one obstacle, is almost the same size, 2/3. In addition to its size, it is extremely cold. Write that down. Extremely cold. Extremely cold. We are talking an area, class, that is prone to heavy snowstorms and could reach temperatures of 40 below zero. Write that down. 40 below. 40 below zero. So why would ancient China be so perfectly preserved and unique? The Mongolian Plain is gigantic, to almost the size of the Indus. 200,000 square miles. Very frigid and cold. The very, very harsh winters. 40 below. Add to that, because the area is in fact so desolate, it lacks any natural resources. Write it down. No natural resources. No natural resources. Ancient China, like in many ways the mountains of the Indus, the Mongolian Plain would protect the north. You're talking 200,000 square miles. 2/3, almost the size of our first topic. 40 below zero. Freezing. We're talking no natural resources because of the plain area. And in addition to that, you're talking desolation, snowstorms. Well, class, If you think the plain, the Mongolian plain, is an obstacle, well then we're talking about something even worse. Directly above it, including this in gigantic area, is massive obstacle number 2. I myself have never seen anything more desolate in my life. We are talking right above the Mongolian plain is in fact obstacle number 2, the massive Siberian plain. Write that down. The Siberian plain, also in the north, directly above the Mongolian plain. Class, this map does not do it justice. The Siberian plain literally begins over here and stretches entirely off this map. The Siberian plain is simply huge. How huge is it? It is 3.5 million square miles. Write that down. 3.5 million square miles. 3.5 million square miles. And again, it makes no sense, these numbers, unless we can compare it to something pragmatic. The Siberian plain is 3.5 million square miles. That is roughly the size of the entire continental United States. Write that down. The size of the continental U.S. The size of the continental U.S. So we are talking the United States of America, not counting Alaska, not counting Hawaii, Puerto Rico. I'm talking just the continental U.S. The Siberian plain is humongous. Add to that, class, we are talking, it is nothing but almost one gigantic sheet of ice. Write that down. Ice. I'm talking ice driven, being so close to the Arctic. We are talking ice and temperatures that drop as low as 80 below zero. Write that down. 80 below zero. 80 below. And believe it or not, people still live in the region. Why would China be as insulated as the Indus? Why would ancient China be as unique as the Indus, considering the fact that she was right next door? Because geography, like the Indus, insulated her. A Mongolian plain, class, that is almost the size of the Indus, 2/3 the size. A Mongolian plain that is 40 below zero. A plain that is conducive to massive snowstorms. 40 below zero. Heavy. You're talking desolation. No resources. A Siberian plain as big as the continental United States. 80 below zero. Nothing but ice. Add to that, it is driven by Arctic winds. Write that down. Arctic winds would in fact be conducive. The Arctic winds would affect Chinese history, would affect and separate north from the south. So class, to the north, a Mongolian plain that's almost the size of the Indus. A Siberian plain that is the size of the continental U.S. in terms of total area. You're talking 40 below, 80 below, ice, Arctic winds, the lack of resources, winter storms. Well, class, shifting from the north, we go to the northwest. Write it down. To the northwest, we have 2 more unique obstacles. Here and here. Well, class, we go from frigid conditions to, in fact, 2 amazing and very difficult to cross deserts. Write that down. 2 deserts. 2 deserts. We mentioned one with the Indus, but 2 deserts right here protect ancient China no differently than mountains or rivers. The two deserts are